Welcome back to our channel, soap fans. Today is a beautiful, drama-filled day to dive headfirst into the juiciest, most explosive secrets Port Charles has to offer. So buckle up and let us get right into the absolute madness unfolding on your. The mask has officially slipped, the lies have detonated, and the man parading around Port Charles with Nathan West's face has finally been exposed as the ultimate fraud. Cassius Faison is alive, he is lethal, and his entire existence as a resurrected hero was nothing but a sickening, calculated mirage. The shockwaves of this revelation are actively tearing families apart, shattering alliances, and leaving a trail of absolute devastation. But amidst the screaming matches, the WSB cover-ups, and the frantic scramble for survival, there is one glaring, heartbreaking absence that has every single viewer screaming at their television. Where is Maxie Jones? The woman who loved Nathan, the woman who mourned him, the woman who opened her heart to this imposter, is entirely missing from the fallout. Fans have been waiting for months to witness the exact moment Maxie realizes she has been sleeping with. We wanted the slap, the tears, the visceral, earth-shattering scream of a woman who realizes her miracle was actually a monster. We wanted to see Maxie rip Cassius to shreds for daring to desecrate Nathan's. Instead, the writers have thrown us a massive, unexpected curveball. When the bombshell dropped and the truth about Cassius Faison flooded the streets of Port Charles, Maxie Jones was nowhere to be found. She, along with Damian Spinelli, Georgie, and little Bailey Louise, are blissfully ignorant, soaking up the sun on a family vacation far away from the carnage. The reality behind the scenes is dictating the action. Kirsten Storms has been dealing with a tremendous number of personal issues lately, which have understandably prevented her from returning to work on the General Hospital set. Rather than forcing a jarring, immediate recast right at the climax of this massive storyline, the showrunners made a strategic pivot. They sent Maxie out of town, sparing her the immediate gruesome details of the Cassius exposure. But while Maxie is sipping tropical drinks on a beach, the collateral damage back home is piling up, and the most innocent victim of this entire twisted saga is paying the ultimate price. James West decided to stay behind in Port Charles. He did not want to leave the man he wholeheartedly believed was his resurrected father. He wanted to focus on his Little League baseball games, to pitch and hit with his dad cheering from the bleachers. The sheer, unadulterated innocence of a little boy wanting to play baseball with his father makes the impending reality check so much more brutal. James is completely isolated from his mother and his siblings, standing at ground zero of a conspiracy that involves international spies, deadly toxins, and a twin brother swapped straight out of a nightmare. With Maxie out of the picture, the horrific burden of shattering a little boy's world falls squarely onto the shoulders of Cody Bell. Cody is stepping up to the plate in the most agonizing way imaginable. He is the one who has to look James in the eye and deliver the fatal blow. He has to explain that the man cheering for him at baseball practice is not Nathan West. He has to tell this sweet, innocent child that his father is still in the grave, and the man wearing his face was actually his Uncle Cassius. And to make matters infinitely worse, Cody has to deliver the official WSB lie. Cassius Faison is dead. Imagine the sheer emotional trauma about to unfold on. James is going to spiral into absolute, heartbreaking denial. He just got his father back, and now, in the blink of an eye, he is being told that his father was a fake, his uncle is a monster, and the man he loved is dead all over again. James will lash out, he will scream, and he will refuse to believe the words coming out of Cody's mouth. Cody will have to hold this broken child together while navigating his own disgust over the WSB cover-up, because the audience knows the sickening truth. Cassius Faison is not dead. He is very much alive, operating as a lethal ghost in the shadows for WSB directors. The ticking time bomb of Cassius's survival is going to hang over James's head for the foreseeable future. But the fallout of Maxie's extended absence does not stop with her traumatized son. There is a massive, bleeding crater left in the corporate world of Port Charles, and the sharks are already circling the water. Deception is an absolute crisis. Maxie Jones is the beating heart of that company, the creative visionary who keeps the gears turning while the executives wage war in the boardroom. With Maxie completely off the canvas for the rest of the summer, Deception is incredibly vulnerable, and Tracy Quartermain is already smelling blood in the water. Tracy Quartermain does not play games. She plays for total, uncompromising domination. She sees Maxie's absence as the ultimate opportunity to seize total control of Deception. Tracy is mobilizing her forces, sharpening her claws, and preparing to launch a hostile takeover that will leave the current management begging for mercy. Standing right by her side is her granddaughter, Brooke Lynn Quartermain. Brooke Lynn is currently drowning in her own toxic secrets, desperately trying to frame Willow Kane for Jordan Ashford's hit-and-run crash to save her own skin. But even while her marriage to Harrison Chase teeters on the edge of a spectacular explosion, Brooklyn remains a lethal corpse. She is teaming up with Tracy, creating a formidable grandmother-granddaughter alliance that is ready to crush anyone who stands in their way. Lucy Coe is panicking. She can feel the Quartermaine noose tightening around her neck. Lucy is erratic, passionate, and fiercely protective of her stake in deception, but she knows she cannot fight Tracy and Brooklyn alone. With Maxie unavailable to run interference, Lucy needs a heavy hitter. She needs a right-hand woman who possesses the exact same fire, ruthlessness, and legacy power as the Quartermaines. She needs someone who will not flinch when Tracy goes for the jugular. And that is exactly when Lucy makes the call that will change the entire landscape of Port Charles. Prepare yourselves, because a massive legacy return is about to shake deception to its absolute. Serena Baldwin is coming home. Kelly Kruger is officially stepping back into the iconic role, and she is not returning just to play nice. Serena is the daughter of the legendary Scott Baldwin and the late Dominique Stanton, and she is Lucy Coe's fiercely loyal surrogate daughter. Serena has the Baldwin fire running through her veins, combined with the refined, cutthroat business acumen required to survive in the high-stakes world of cosmetics. Serena's arrival is going to hit the Quartermaines like a freight train. Just when Tracy thinks she has cornered Lucy, Serena will strut into the deception boardroom, drop her designer bag on the mahogany table, and declare absolute. This is no longer just a business dispute. This is a deeply personal, generational bloodbath. It is going to be mother and daughter against grandmother and granddaughter. Lucy and Serena are going to form an impenetrable wall against Tracy and Brooklyn, and the ensuing corporate sabotage is going to be legendary. Serena Baldwin is the absolute perfect choice to fill the void left by Maxie Jones. She brings a fresh, unpredictable energy to the canvas without the jarring disconnect of a sudden recap. Serena has historical ties to the city, a built-in loyalty to Lucy, and absolutely zero intimidation when it comes to the Quartermaine name. We are going to see Serena aggressively dismantle Tracy's hostile takeover plan step by step. We are going to see Serena clash spectacularly with Brooklyn, potentially uncovering the cracks in Brooklyn's fragile psyche as the hit-and-run guilt eats her alive. Serena is not just a placeholder. She is a weapon, and Lucy Coe is about to aim her directly at Tracy's head. The dynamics in the deception offices are going to be electric. Picture the rapid-fire dialogue, the thrown martini glasses, and the vicious corporate espionage. Serena will undoubtedly leverage her father Scott Baldwin's legal trickery to outmaneuver Tracy's ironclad contract. Brooklyn will try to use her street-smart deception experience to outplay Serena, only to find that Serena has been playing this game on a global scale. The stakes have never been higher, because whoever wins this war walks away with total control of the most lucrative cosmetics empire in the state. But as the summer heats up and Serena Baldwin burns the boardroom to the ground, a massive, lingering question remains hanging in. What happens when Maxie Jones finally comes? The family vacation cannot last forever. Eventually, Maxie is going to pack her bags, load Spinelli and the kids into the car, and return to Port Charles. And the city she returns to will be completely unrecognizable. When Maxie walks through her front door, she is going to find her son James completely broken, mourning the loss of a father who was actually a monstrous imposter. She is going to find out that the WSB has buried the truth, and that Cassius Faison is still out there, potentially watching her every move. She is going to walk into the deception offices and find Serena Baldwin sitting in her chair, commanding her staff, and fighting a war that Maxie was supposed to lead. The psychological toll of realizing her entire life fell apart while she was getting a tan is going to push Maxie to the absolute brink. Will Maxie be able to pick up the pieces of her shattered family? Will James ever be able to trust his mother again, knowing she brought a monster into their home? Will Serena willingly step aside when Maxie is ready to reclaim her throne at Deception, or will the taste of power turn Serena into a permanent rival? And what happens when the WSB's lies inevitably unravel, and Cassius Faison steps out of the shadows to reclaim the family he stole? The board is set, the players are moving, and the destruction is going to be absolute. Port Charles is a powder keg, and the fuse has just been lit. Who do you think will win the ultimate battle for Deception? The fierce loyalty of Lucy and Serena, or the ruthless ambition of Tracy and Brooklyn? And how long can the WSB keep Cassius Faison's survival a secret before he comes back for James? Drop your wildest predictions in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned because this summer is about to